Mga kaibigan, pakinggan po natin ang arrival statement ng Pangulo pagkatapos ng kanyang opisyal na visit sa Pentagon, Washington DC at pakipag-ugnayan kay Pangulong Donald Trump, si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr.
Just concluded my 3-day official visit to Washington DC upon the invitation of U.S. President Donald Trump. This visit speaks of the breadth and depth of the alliance of the Philippines and the United States that span the various facets of our bilateral relations. At this brief visit, I had productive discussions with President Trump and with key U.S. government officials, including Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio and the Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. We reaffirmed our mutual commitment to further strengthening our long-standing alliance and growing our economies for the benefit of the people and in pursuit of our national interest. We exchanged views on key regional and international security issues, focusing on how the two countries could cooperate and contribute towards addressing common challenges and priorities. In my meeting with the Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio, I underscored the critical importance of the Philippines-United States alliance in maintaining peace and stability in the South China Sea and the broader Indo-Pacific region. I welcome the commitment of Secretary Rubio to work with us in advancing our shared prosperity goals. I was hosted by Secretary Pete Hegseth in the Pentagon to discuss other defense and security issues. As in our previous meeting in Manila last March, he reiterated the importance of deepening defense cooperation. This to establish deterrence in the Indo-Pacific region. We discussed the United States' commitment to the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, a treaty that extends to armed attacks to the armed forces, aircraft, or public vessels, including the Coast Guard. In my meeting with President Trump, we reaffirmed our ironclad commitment to the Mutual Defense Treaty. I thank the United States for its consistent support for the preservation of regional peace and stability and for upholding the rule of law in the South China Sea. We discussed enhanced cooperation on cybersecurity, energy supply, resilience, and critical infrastructure. I underscored the importance of our multilateral engagement, especially with neighboring countries, to continue to reinforce the network of common alliances in the region. We welcome the U.S. government's pledge of an additional $15 million for private sector development under the Luzon Economic Corridor Initiative and an additional $48 million in foreign assisted projects. We will continue to work with the State Department as well with the U.S. Congress for the implementation of these programs. I conveyed to President Trump that we remain positive about the future of PH-US trade, including investment relations, especially in the context of economic security and the fair, balanced reciprocal trade. We expressed our commitment to continue engaging his team to further bolster PH-US ties and strengthen Philippines' economic security. On the sidelines of the visit, I also met with business leaders and top executives of leading global investment, healthcare, infrastructure, and semiconductor firms, expanding our economic engagements to provide opportunities for building economic security and resilience was a key point in our discussions. We returned to the Philippines with over $21 billion in investment pledges that have the potential to create thousands of direct and indirect jobs for Filipinos within our country. The United States is our oldest and only treaty ally, and my visit to meet the new president is important in advancing our historic and dynamic cooperation, mutual respect, and shared strategic interests. I look forward to hosting President Trump next year to attend the ASEAN meetings under the Philippines chair, which also coincides with the commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the Philippine-U.S. diplomatic relations and 75 years of the Mutual Defense Treaty. Finally, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the U.S. government and its people, not only for their warm hospitality during my short visit, but also for extending support to our response efforts in aiding communities and areas affected by the Southwest Monsoon. Sa gitna ng kalamidad, inuuna ng inyong pamahalaan ang kaligtasan, kalusugan at kapakanan ng bawat Pilipino. Patuloy ang ating pagtugon sa epekto ng malakas na pag-ulan at pagbaha dulot ng habagat sa iba't ibang panig ng bansa. Ang ating mga ahensya, katuwang ang mga lokal na pamahalaan, ay walang patid sa pagsasagawa ng mga rescue and relief operations upang masigurong agad na makarating ang tulong sa mga pamilyang apektado. Inihikayat ko ang lahat na makipagtulungan sa mga otoridad, sundin ang mga babala ng panahon at agad na lumikas kung kinakailangan. Sa ating pagkakaisa at pagtutulungan, malalampasan natin ang pagsubok na ito. Maraming salamat po.
Ayan po, malinaw ang arrival speech po ng ating Pangulo matapos ang kanyang matagumpay na biyahe sa Estados Unidos. Kaya ako pinanindigan matagumpay kasi nga yung binigay siya ng pagkakataon ni President Trump na discuss ang magandang relasyon ng Pilipinas at ng Amerika at ng mga opisyalis na kanya nabanggit. Pagpapatatag ng relasyon, modernization program, internal external security at sa issue ng West Philippine Sea, pati sa business community. Yung issue na nakikita at sinisilip ng mga kritiko ng administrasyon ay bakit daw pumayag ang ating gobyerno na 1% lang ang nabawas dun sa taripa. Ay wala naman tayong magagawa kasi yun po yung policy ng American government. Eh sa ibang mga lugar nga di ba? 40%, 30%. Sa Russia nga winarningan na ni Trump ng 100% na taripa ang gagawin sa Russia pag hindi tumigil lang dun sa Ukraine. Dito sa China, alam ko 40% Tayo 20 pero nabawasan ng 1%. Kahit pa paano nabawasan. Pero tulad ng sinabi ng Pangulo, naitanong din sa kanya, bakit ganun lang? Sabi niya, wala tayong magagawa. Siya yung kanilang programa, yung kanilang policy, at least nabawasan kahit maliit. Pero at least nabawasan pa rin. Pero sa akin pong personal na opinion at analysis dito sa isyong ito, hindi po natin pwedeng ikasama ng loob yung 1% na binawas sa 20% taripa. Ang kapalit niyan malaki. Yung modernization, national security ng ating bansa at tulungan tayo para sa West Philippine Sea issue, malaking bagay po yun. Talo pa nun ang 19% o 20% na taripa. Maniwala kayo sa akin. Kasi yung mga armas at iba pang tulong sa modernization ng ating sandatahang lakas, malaking bagay yun. Yung pagkilala ng American government under President Trump kay Pangulong Marcos, sa dami ng mga bansa sa mundo tayo ang pinahalagahan dito sa ASEAN, malaking bagay yun. Hindi yun makukwenta sa pera. Kaya huwag tayong manghinayang, huwag tayong masaktan ng loob sa 19% na taripa. Hindi naman lahat tayo tatamaan dyan. Yung mga negosyante nag-export-import lang ho yung isang apektado. Although may epekto sa atin. Pero yung ginawang, yung pangako at ginagawa, yung pagpapatibay ng relasyon sa ilalim ng Mutual Defense Treaty at marami pa tulad na sabi ko, hindi po yun baliwala. Napakalaki nun. Malaki yun sa 20% taripa. Malaki yun kahit 50% taripa pa kung ano man. O kahit wala tayong babayaran tax. Itong tulong nila, mababawi natin. Yun po yun. Tumingin pa rin tayo sa positibo. Huwag sa negatibo. Pero alam ko naman na nagpapalutang ng negatibong yan, mga anti-Marcos. Lahat naman yan, sinisilip ang lahat ng masama sa kanilang tingin at palalakihin. Pero ako, malawak ang pangunawa ko dyan, mas marami ang magiging kapalit ng relasyong matibay between two government, Philippine government at American government. Please like and share ng ating video ito.